So here we go. We got x plus 2 equals 4. The way I want to solve that is I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. And I get x is equal to 2. Okay, you want to show your work just like this. Remember, the objective is I want to get x equal to some value. And what I did here was I subtracted 2 from both sides of the equation. Remember, whatever you do on one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side of the equation as well. Now, I'm skipping over a lot of other critical things here, but I'm assuming you already have some knowledge of equations right now. Okay, so the objective here really is to focus on the process or the mechanics, not so much the theory. Okay, I'm kind of trying to hit that a little bit, but let's continue on with our second problem. Okay, so how do we solve this? Negative 2x equals 6. Well, in this equation, I need to divide both sides of the equation by negative 2. Okay, now one thing I want to say is that you really make sure you know your positive and negative numbers really well, because that's another place where students kind of trip up with the equation. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1, or positive 1x. So that's going to be x is equal to negative 3. Okay, so that's the solution to this equation. Now let's move on to this last one. Now here, okay, what I had to do was do some subtraction to both sides of the equation. Here I had to do some division. Okay, I'm dividing. Now in this equation right here, the best way to solve an equation where there's a fraction in front of the variable like so is just to flip that fraction. We call that the reciprocal. So that's going to be 3 over 2. And we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal. So whatever this number is here, flip it upside down, or i.e. the reciprocal. And then you want to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal. So we're going to take this 5 and multiply it by 3 halves. 5 is the same thing as 5 over 1. So here, 3 halves times 2/3 is 1, or 1x, or just x. And this is going to be 15 over 2, or 15 halves. Okay, so that is the solution to this equation. 2 times x plus 1 equals 7. Well, in algebra, anytime you see parentheses like so, this is an indication that you have to do the distributor property before you do anything else. So let's go ahead and do that now. So this is going to be 2 times x, or 2x, plus 2 times 1. All right, so that's going to be 2 equals 7. All right. Now, this is a multi-step equation. Remember, anytime you see parentheses, you're going to have to go ahead and apply the distributor property when necessary. But at this point, I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Well, here we always take care of addition or subtraction first. So I'm going to get rid of this 2 by subtracting 2 from both sides of the equation. And that's going to give me, let me scoot this guy down here a little bit. This is going to give me 2x is equal to 5. All right. See how I'm kind of writing this down? And now here, this is a basic equation, something that we did like up here. Now we're just taking another step. And to solve for x, I just simply divide both sides of the equation by 2. So I get x is equal to 5 halves. And there you go. Okay, so again, just another kind of step up and how many steps we have to take to solve an equation. So let's go ahead and finish this video up with this equation here, because again, there's all kinds of different twists and things, but again, you're using the same fundamental steps over and over again to kind of whittle the problem down, if you will. All right, so here I have an equation, and as I said previously, if I see parentheses like so, quantity, this is an indication I'm going to have to do the distributive property first. So let's start off this way. So I'm going to have to multiply by that 2 by x and 1. So that's going to be 2 times x, or 2x, plus 2 times 1. That's 2. Now let's just write the rest of the equation out. Plus 10x is equal to 4x minus 6. Okay, now at this time, what you want to do is you want to combine like terms. So we have the left and right hand side of the equation. We want to simplify each of those sides by adding up anything that we can on the respective sides before we do anything else. So in this case, I have this 2x, I have this 10x. So these are like terms. I can add these together. A 2x and a 10x is 12x plus 2 is equal to 4x minus 6. So here I have a 4x and a minus 6. I can't combine these because these are not like terms. Again, I'm kind of skipping over a lot of things, but I'm kind of making that assumption that you have some sort of idea already of what's going on with equations, all right? We're just kind of doing a quick review here with this video. All right, now at this point, what you want to do is you want to move all your variables, okay, over to the left-hand side and move all the numbers over to the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and start with the variables first. So I have this 4x on the right-hand side. I want to move it over to the left-hand side. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to subtract the 4x over here. But if I do a subtraction on the right-hand side, I'm going to have to do it over here on the left-hand side. So this is going to be 8x plus 2 is equal to negative 6. So I just moved my 4x over to the left-hand side. And now I just want to move all my numbers over to the right-hand side. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation like so. And I'm going to get 8x is equal to negative 8. All right. And last but not least, now I have this real basic equation. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides of the equation by 8. And I get x is equal to negative 1. That is the solution. So what you're doing is you're taking this big equation.
Try. Let's say that 5 minus 2 times 3x plus 4 is equal to 3 minus 4 times 2x plus 1. So based on the last problem, go ahead and try these problems. So let's start with the distributive property. Let's multiply negative 2 by 3x. That's going to be negative 6x. And then let's multiply negative 2 by 4, which is negative 8. On the right side, let's start with negative 4 times 2x. That's negative 8x. And then negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4. Now let's combine like terms. So we can combine those two on the left and 3 and negative 4 on the right. 5 minus 8, that's going to be negative 3. And 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Now, let's add 8x to both sides. This will give us an x variable on the left side, and it's going to be positive. And let's add 3 to both sides, so we can get a constant term on the right side. Negative 6x plus 8x is 2x. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. So if we divide both sides by 2, we can see that x is going to be 1. And that's it for that problem.